Welcome back, guys, to another episode of FPL Backbenchers. It's been so long, and I have really missed FPL, and I have really missed you guys. Hope you guys are doing well. I'm joined by Anjan. Anjan, how you been doing? It's been a very long international break. I mean, I was just looking through my team, and it seemed like decades ago. So, how has it been for you?
Well, it has been a very long time now, and international break is quite. Uh, Pardon?
I said it's damn long. Like,
Yeah,
I
yeah,
don't
yeah,
know.
exactly.
I mean, we say that about every international break, but
Hmm.
this week, due to a lot of reasons, I mean, which I will obviously disclose over the course of the pod, this specifically, like, I could not remember what my game week score was. So before we started recording right now, I actually had to check and look back as to what happened because I've been like completely shut off, completely cut off from FPL. How about you? How you are doing? Health wise, everything
Well,
okay?
yeah, health-wise and everything-wise, it's okay. Hectic life as usual for me. And FPL-wise, I think I scored, I think 64. It was okay kind of week for me.
Score 64?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I guess. I'm
I
not
think,
sure, but
yeah, you scored 64. Damn,
yeah,
I've forgotten.
all
Wow.
like like all thanks to Trent, Cancelo, Ramsdale, James, Salah captain. That's all.
Yeah, true. Well, my score was a paltry 48, which I actually did not remember as well. And I was like, why is this 48? And yeah, then I remembered I had actually benched Cancelo and for the Manchester derby, thinking that, you know, it will be a tough one and Manchester United will eventually score. And we know rest is history. Man City kept a clean sheet. Cancelo got two assists. I think he got three bonus. So yeah, that's it. 48 points. I'm really down the ranks. Let me check your rank. I mean, I think you have really risen up if that is the case. 64 was a very decent game week. You had a game week rank of 396k, which is very decent. Oh, you're in the top 100k, Anjan, now. I did
Yeah,
not realize that.
no,
Congratulations.
actually, yeah, thank you about that. But actually, I reached top 100K last week itself. So my rank
Okay.
has improved five. I think my rank improved from 88K to I think 67 or 68K. I don't remember exactly, but it should be that. I had a rise of around 20K this week.
It's bad. People will be like, this guy is not even aware about his sport partners. But seriously, I had no idea that you have reached within 100k. Congratulations. This is not made up by any chance, guys. This is I'm right finding it out right now. He's actually 67k, 67 355.
Hmm.
Bloody brilliant, bro. Yeah, I think you should do the entire thing, and I should
No,
just
no, no,
listen.
nothing like that.
Okay, so let's rejig our memory because honestly, I think Anjan, you will have to catch me up a lot because I've forgotten what has exactly happened in the last game week. To be very honest, I will have to look at the game week results and eventually go from there. Before that, guys, just a small request. I'll just do it upfront. Uh, it's a new channel, guys. Please support our work. We are trying to bring you good content. If you are somebody who checks in with us regularly and if you think that this is something that you actually enjoy watching, please hit the subscribe button and click on the like button as well. If you think this is something that your friends will enjoy, please share the video link with your friends so that they can even benefit from it. We are not experts by any definition, but we are a couple of lads who have been playing FPL for a good part of a decade right now, or over a decade. So, I mean, for the cost of reiteration, so I like repetition, we have been saying this a lot, but we have played FPL for a very long time. Anjan has actually a very decent game week rank history. Me also not bad. We'll probably share that sometime around. But uh, so yeah, please guys, do like and do subscribe because the number of people watching actually do not match our subscriber count. So it will help the actually channel grow, right? Just I just wanted to say that and let's see the game week results. I mean, game week 11, what happened? Okay. So I'll tell you, Anjan, right now, like I'm looking at the scores right now, and these seem all alienated to me. Like I don't remember who scored for Southampton against Aston Villa. So it's 1-0 to Southampton, and was it Armstrong? Let me
Yeah,
check.
it was Armstrong.
It should be Armstrong because
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
Okay,
He,
so
I think Armstrong scored in I think 6 minutes or 7 minutes. I think probably
yeah,
something like that.
and it was if I'm not wrong, it was a blistering knock. It was an
Yeah,
amazing goal. He
yeah.
just like
Very nice goal.
lashed at the goal, and so yeah.
Hmm.
What do you feel like about Southampton and Armstrong? Because there's this confusion about Armstrong or Broja, however you pronounce it. Sorry if I'm pronouncing it wrong.
First of all, the fact was that Broya was not fit for this match, so definitely Armstrong was 100% almost sure to start this match. But after this particular performance, now like now the real confusion comes. Like who will start? It's a very difficult ball game. Like will like Armstrong start with will the other striker Broya will start. So that's a very tricky time. But I don't feel like Armstrong would be benched right now.
Well, first of all, I mean, I should mention this. This is actually a very good time in the Premier League to be a Chelsea Academy graduate because apparently all the Chelsea grads are hot property right now in the Premier
Yeah,
League.
true,
Be,
true,
be
true.
it Moya, be it Livramento, be it
Gallagher.
Lamptey, Gallagher. Yeah, like it's a lot of ex Lively. So like
Hmm.
yeah, kudos on that. Before, I mean, I specifically, as far as Armstrong is concerned, I don't think that he'll be dropped, considering how he has played in the last two games. I do understand his Broya is also really good, but I don't think Hassan Hutel has a system wherein all three of them being Che Adam is also included in that. I don't think they fit into that kind of formation. As of now, I don't think Armstrong should be losing his place in that sense. I
True.
mean, in any case, uh, more than Armstrong, probably people are concerned about Tino Livramento,
Livramento.
Southampton's team, and everybody that is every week for everybody, probably whoever owns him. I don't own him. I'm the genius one who did not think of owning him actually. So I don't have that headache, but people do have that headache about whether they should bench him, whether they should play him. So before you give a take on that, I see a lot of people having this discussion about Armstrong. I want to ask you a generic question like, does Southampton feel like a team that will score a lot of goals? I know they have been getting a lot of good results, but to me, particularly, generally, how their gameplay is built around, it doesn't strike like there will be a lot of goals. Or when I say that, I don't, I very often or hardly ever I feel like Southampton will go ahead and score two, three goals in this particular match, which is probably very converse to what the Southampton teams of olds were because they were highly entertaining, high energy, and probably people like Pele and Mane when they were in the Southampton team. So it was a very high charged and high scoring kind of team. I don't generally feel that because they are very organized defensively in that sense. Do you agree to that? Because I feel that they get the early goal and they try to be organized and kind of shut shop and manage the match.
Yeah, yeah,
Is
true. Completely true. But like one fact is that in support of Livramento, I would say okay, Southampton defense. I think they have got I think three clean sheet in last four games probably. So
yeah,
I don't okay like fixture wise it was very good. They had a very decent run of fixtures. Probably I feel like the next fixture is also very good. But
yeah,
after that, I don't feel like Southampton have a very good run of fixtures. So probably people, those who have those who have Livramento and are like willing to like continue with him, or like a bench option or something like that. If you are like if you are like having him, play him for the next match against Norwich. And then after that, like if you want to bench or if you want to sell him, that's an option. And one more thing, you said okay, Southampton don't score that much goal, but
I'm not saying
how
that they
much
don't
goal
score.
do,
I am not saying
but
that they don't score, but what I'm trying to say is they don't feel like they will
look
score.
look like
Who look like,
okay.
I mean, I will not be I mean, probably this is not, this is just a discussion. I
Yeah.
think my inquisition was as to why are Armstrong or Broya even in the conversation right now. That is probably because right now a lot of forwards are not performing that well in the game. So people are
Hmm.
probably happy to take an assist or happy to take that odd goal in, scoring every two match. So that is probably a decent return for the FPL world right now. But generally, I mean, with all the options available, do would we be looking for an Southampton forward? I don't think so. I mean, that's
They are
my.
cheap basically. They are cheap basically. And like how much do you expect from a like a 5 or 5.5 or 6 million 6 million forward in your team? They
No,
are
that
relatively cheap.
yeah, I understand that. That's my entire point, because we have been considerably blessed with a lot of cheap midfielders for us to be
Hmm.
even considering a cheap forward. Where do we need all that money? Because no, none of the big hitters are also hitting. So that's my confusion where it comes from. Regarding Livramento, I think people tend to overthink it. You guys bought him for 4 million, right? We bought, if you remember, Anjan, I think last season we bought Landstrom for 4 million, right? And he was probably somebody who had a bit more goal threat than Livramento. Livramento probably has a bit more of an assist threat than Landstrom. I don't think we were that uncomfortable about benching Landstrom. At the end of the day, he's a 4 million asset. You cannot be expecting a Livramento or a Landstrom to be performing at the level of a Cancelo or a Pete James. So if it's about benching Livramento, it's fine. I mean, you would rather have those bench points than your bench not being good at all and they dropping in price. At least you're getting a price rise out of them, right? Which will eventually benefit you down the line against when you're doing a wild card for the team, right?
And like one more thing, and like the next I think we have around 10 game weeks. It's 10 game weeks in next 40 days. There is lots of game in this period, so there would be lots of rotation here and there. So probably you need to have a very good bench right now.
Yeah.
Not like exactly a very good bench, but probably a probably a playing player in every set of bench fodder.
True, true, true. I do. That's a good point. Bringing up the busy festive fixture that is there.
Yeah.
There are like 10 game weeks in 40 days.
Mm.
With that in mind, I think I will not even touch a Southampton striker because they have three and they can rotate. So it's very unsure for me who will play, and I will probably not go towards that unsurety. I will tell you guys. This is my specific time where I play well, right? Of all the things that I do in FPL, probably this is the time that I play it. It is probably up to my
Smart.
liking. I don't know if I play it well or not. I would say when you are going for a budget or a squad player where you are unsure about the position and rotation, go for adversity. Like go for a team that are in an adverse position who do not have any other option other than playing that person week in and week out. More often than not, believe me, they will perform for you and they will give you points, even if the fixture is half decent. And that is my experience of the past many years. So I would rather go for a, let's say, a Wang of Wolves, even though the fixture probably might not be that good, rather than in a system where Armstrong might play, Broya might not play, Shea Adams might drop deep. I don't want that headache. right? Uh,
Yeah.
Thinking about Aston Villa, they
Mhm.
now have what we call the new manager bounce, and it's a Premier League legend back. Steven Gerrard is back, right? So quickly, what do you think will be the impact of Steven Gerrard? Start.
Well, I feel like Steven Gerrard would have a very good impact. Because he was like he did a very good job with Rangers. His like playing style is basically 4-3-3, as we have seen. So like fullbacks, I feel like fullbacks would be given a free license to move forward. Probably Cash and Target would like Cash and Target would enjoy a lot with him.
So he is actually termed as the mini Klopp, right? So his how he sets up his team is exactly termed to be like how Klopp sets up his team, but probably not as successfully as Klopp, or probably not as with the caliber of player that Klopp has. Traditionally, what has happened in Rangers is his fullbacks have been very good fantasy wise, wherein they score a lot of goals and a lot of assists. It's to be seen. I have doubts about probably Target, whether he can do that. I can see him dropping Target as well, and probably Ashley Young playing that role because he can play that role. Ashley Young. It's not very difficult for him to play that role, being somebody who has played in being for Manchester United and his other clubs. Plus, he's a Aston Villa legend. I can see him coming back. Matty Cash can actually become a very good asset, but then the problem is with people, where will they accommodate? Because everybody already has the four premium defenders.
Right
So
back season actually.
yeah, it's a season of right back. Actually, not exactly right back. I think Chilwell is a left back and Cancelo is a left back. So, anyways, it's a season
Mm.
of full back, and probably there is benefit or providence for people who can make that jump, because a lot of people are committed to their kind of team structure and their team squad players. So that there is an opportunity to jump. We'll look into that, where you can probably think about making a difference in your team when we look at the fixture ticker later. Let's move on to the next match. This match I remember very vividly. United against City, the Manchester derby. Mm. There was this very saying. There was this saying from probably my adolescent ages, when it really pissed me off. When United used to say that when they are playing Arsenal, it seemed like it was men against boys. Well, guess what, United? It was men against boys. So City completely like toyed with them, and there have been a lot of. I'm just loving this like Twitter space and social media space, wherein I think De Bruyne came up with the fact that they didn't actually practice for United that much because they did not know what strategy to go with, because Pep felt that United themselves don't know what they play. So they hardly practice for 10 minutes before the match, and they said that yeah, we were like chilling out after that. So I don't know, these might be a fake, this might be rumor, but yeah, it's funny as hell. And
United are having a very tough time actually.
yeah, it's a tough time. I mean, jokes apart, I think probably if Antonio Conte, that is, manages to make the impact that he everybody is thinking of that he'll be making in Spurs, needless of whatever United fans and United board says, I think they will feel that they missed a step there, because they did not move for Conte when they could have moved for him. There have been a lot of rumors, like, they are looking for Zidane to take over, they are looking for
No, no,
Rodgers to
actually,
take over.
no, actually, like you should like leave all this part and talk about FPL in general. Like they have a very good run of fixtures coming pretty soon. What should we do actually with their asset?
Uh, See, FPL wise, if I have to think about it, uh, I think everybody will have Ronaldo on their radar. Despite all this slump and everything, as expected, Ronaldo's ownership is still 30% overall. in the overall game, which is pretty high, I would say, for a 12.5 striker when especially the team is not performing and even he is sporadically scoring goal. I will not say that he is very consistently scoring goal every game week. So Ronaldo is the obvious choice. What is to be seen is what happens in the next few games. Uh, Post that, probably a clearer idea would come out whether Bruno Fernandes becomes an option or not, because essentially he still is the same asset because he still holds the penalty as far as our knowledge goes right now. If something changed, that's different, but as of now, he still holds penalty, and essentially that was his role last season as well. If you think about it, he actually has a better finisher on the end of his process in the form of Cristiano Ronaldo. So that should benefit, but then that will probably become dicey. Like, where do you fit in Bruno Fernandes? Probably, if somebody is going for Sun right now, they can think of making that switch. Rashford was an interesting option that was popping up, but if Solskjaer is to continue in this formation where he goes with five defenders and two forwards at front, I don't see Rashford playing all the matches. So it will be interchangeable between Cavani and Rashford. And as we have already highlighted, that is not something that we desire during the festive period and the Christmas period. So Rashford effectively does not is not an option probably right now. Might change in the next 3-4 game weeks. I can't believe I'm saying this, but I think probably you
Sure.
can monitor Luke Shaw. Uh, he is supposed to be the reincarnation and the best left back in the world, and where, God knows where.
N-
He is he
Never buy
absolutely
show in game week one. One suggestion for all of you.
no. I will give you a better suggestion. If you see me buying Shaw, don't buy Shaw because he never performs when he's in my team. He might be the best defender in the world. I have very bad luck with Shaw. But anyways, I'm trying to keep that aside. If you think about the fixtures, I think it's a good fixture. If I quickly look at the fixture for United, they are so basically the fixture ticker that I've put up is from 12 to 15, and essentially after this run, United fixtures turn. If you look at it, I'll just United has Crystal Palace at home in game week 15. But the problem
Hmm.
is Spurs have Norwich at home at game week 15. So I
Also,
don't think
yeah.
anybody is making that switch in game week 15. If
Hmm.
people are persisting with Son or Kane, I don't think anybody will be making that switch in game week 15. So it will be from game week
And
16. Yeah. And I
and
think
like
game week 16, United has Norwich also again.
uh,
So
I think Pele's at home is not a very good fixture because Pele's are
yeah,
playing up
I
pretty
mean,
well right now.
keeping aside that fact that it is not a good fixture actually, considering Palace are a very good team, I'm just
Hmm.
saying. So stating that nobody will be making that switch. So when you're essentially thinking about is from game week 16, in between that United have Watford, Chelsea, Arsenal, and Crystal Palace. So Watford game is probably will be an indicator. Chelsea game, I don't see United getting anything out of that game. To be very honest, Arsenal probably they might beat us. Probably. I'm saying that because they are at home. I think it will not be an easy match. We'll give them a competition. And Crystal Palace as well, they are at home. So we'll probably get a fair idea. I'll probably, mostly, I'll not go down that road, but there is a chance because, uh, let's face it, because the kind of fixture that they actually have from game week 16 onwards, I think Shaw would not be a very bad option. Speaking of fixtures, I think somebody who actually has a good fixture is Man City. So I see a lot of people are selling Man City assets, especially their defenders. I would urge people to look at the fixture ticker. Man City has Everton at home, West Ham at home, Aston Villa away, Watford away, and Chelsea has where is Chelsea? Chelsea has Leicester
Leicester
away, Manchester United at
away.
home, Watford away, and West Ham away. Out of the two fixture, I think City has the much better fixture. So I would not be selling City defenders right now. I understand Chelsea defenders are really good. Probably their fullbacks can make through a lot, but then again, you have to ask the question. Chelsea has, I think, a million defenders in their squad. They don't need a James or a Chilwell to keep on playing every game week. So I think they have, if not one, at least, I mean, if not two, at least one replacement for each position. So Alonso can play in place of Chilwell. Aspilicueta might drop in on that wing back position during this busy festive period. So they are not assured their place. I'm not telling you to sell them, but I'm saying people are moving off probably a Diaz. Diaz is probably as nailed as a player that you'll get during this fixture period. I mean, festive period, right? So just think about that. I mean, City doesn't have a very bad run of fixture. I would probably personally not sell. That's just my viewpoint, right? Shall we move on to the next match, Brentford
Yeah, yeah.
Norwich? Most
Mm,
disappointing match for the community probably because neither did Bumo do anything, neither did Tony do anything. I'll not elaborate on it much, guys. There's nothing much to say. They have Newcastle next. Let's face it, you will not sell him before them before Newcastle, even if it's away. Uh, I see people are making or thinking about switching, but the question is who will you switch to? Like nobody really has a standout fixture, and probably um, in that price range that Tony is, there is nobody, to be honest, at least for this game week. Probably the only probability is Wilson. So if you can upgrade to Wilson, but then again they face Brentford, so I don't know if you'll want to make that switch this game week itself. But Wilson has a good run of four fixture, if I'm not wrong. Newcastle's fixtures are second best on the ticker. They face Brentford at home, Arsenal away, Norwich at home, Burnley home at home. So I would say that is a very good run of fixture, barring probably the Arsenal away game. They have three very favorable home games, right? So
mm.
yeah, something to consider if you guys are looking for an alternative striker. Wilson
And
is
one more thing you forgot. Newcastle have a new manager,
yeah. I
so
was
like
about to mention
the
that. I will
so
get
like
into that when we speak about Newcastle.
mm,
So yeah, Eddie Howe is there. There have been a lot of new managers to be precise. There are three managers who are new.
three.
I was about
Mm,
to speak about Norwich's new manager before I spoke about Newcastle because it was Brentford against Norwich.
mm.
Norwich won their first match of the. Before we move on to Norwich, there are probably alternatives at the price of Bumo or Mbuemo, however you pronounce
Yeah,
it again. But
probably. Yes.
personally, if you ask me, this particular week I'll not make that switch because you have to give them Newcastle. So there are Smith Rowe, there are Gallagher, but if you are already owning Bumo, I will not sell him for anybody this particular game week. If you don't own, I would not suggest you to buy Mbuemo right now. That's
Mm.
how I see it. Not much to talk about Norwich. They won their first match. I Do you see Pookie becoming an option? You take Pookie.
Probably. Yeah. Yes.
You
Yes,
want to
I
go
feel
to the
so.
Pookie party?
How much is his price right now? Okay.
I think it's 5.9, if I'm not wrong.
Uh, and like Norwich fixtures,
Norwich's fixtures, according to the fixture ticker on Fantasy Football Scout, it's fourth. Norwich has Southampton at home, Wolves at home, Newcastle away, Tottenham away. Mixed bag.
probably. Yeah, mixed
It's
bag.
a
Probably Pookie party. Not at this moment, but I feel like Pookie would play a role definitely. And I see this. And I see like Cantwell, Cantwell again starting, and probably he is like one of their best player.
I don't know that will depend upon how their new manager Dean Smith manages to revive Speak with Cantwell. People who are surprised why we are mentioning Dean Smith with Norwich, if you have been living under a rock, There's the most bizarre like manager shuffle ever. So like Aston Villa sacked Dean Smith, and within a couple of days, Norwich signed Dean Smith after they sacked their own manager. So like it's a very bizarre transfer to me, manager wise. But let's see what Dean Smith does. I think even with Dean Smith, they are still favorites to be
Go
relegated.
down actually. Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't see him spinning something. I don't see myself getting interested in Pookie right now because as similar with Southampton, I don't see Norwich scoring many goals. So yeah, I would not be going towards that striker. Chelsea Burnley 1-1. Very disappointing. I think
Yeah, very much disappointing.
Vidra
We should
just
have won this match by around 3, 4 goals. We like missed so many chances. Those Barkley chance and all those chances. We missed a lot of chances.
I think as
We
a
should have been like 3, 4
James
nil up.
owner, yeah, as a non-James owner, me personally, I think I was very lucky that he just got one assist because he was looking sensational. Yeah,
Yeah.
it was just like a stab through the heart, basically, because people I know people who had triple defenses. So yeah, I actually expected Chelsea to concede, but once they did not concede till probably I think 70th minute, I thought they will see it through and Chelsea will keep the clean sheet. But it was very weird, especially the fact that Chelsea did not win this match.
Yeah.
So I don't see nothing much. I think good things ahead for Chelsea. Just like quickly once again, fixture of Chelsea is Leicester
Leicester.
away. Okay, that's a half decentish match. Manchester United at home. I think that will not be a problem for Chelsea. Watford away
Decent
again.
match.
Oh, do we have to say that regarding
Yeah.
Manchester United? All right, decent match. Watford away again, decent match, and West Ham away. I think that will be a bit difficult match, or rather a bit more competitive match in that sense. So I think Lukaku is up and running. At
Yeah.
least that's
Lukaku
what
is.
he has been posting on the social media and Twitter feeds.
Yeah. Yeah.
He's running.
Yeah. Lukaku is back in training, but I don't feel like he would start next match against Leicester. Probably he would. Probably if he is fit, then probably he would be in the bench and would definitely get some minutes before the all important Champions League match against Juventus.
So,
So I feel
so
like yeah,
that's
yeah,
again something to
uh,
take care about, right? There's a midweek
yeah,
game after the
mm,
international break.
international break, and like many like tricky fixtures are there actually in that particular game. I think City play against PSG
Yeah.
probably.
So when does the Champions League group stage get over? Because
It,
that will become a lot of
it,
confusion in my head, FPL wise.
it, it get over I think in probably December first week.
So that'll be around game week 14, 15, right?
6th and 7th December the last
Okay.
group league match.
So I think that is around game week 14 or 15, if I'm not wrong. I'll just quickly look. Yeah, it's game week 15. So game week 16 onwards, they don't have anything else to play apart from Premier League, and probably FA Cup will be coming into picture in January, I think.
No, actually, they have to play for like people who have like teams who have qualified for Carabao Cup next round. They have a midweek fixture in I think probably. Listen,
But I think
yeah,
there won't be the first choice team per se would not be playing that, right? Or is it the
probably
semi-final?
no. It's like quarterfinal right now. Semi-final would come next.
Yeah, one more round. I think from semi-final onwards, you see more influence of the main team playing the Carabao Cup or the League Cup as we know it.
No, actually, the fact is that I think probably we would be having midweek game in like every game week from now on, probably.
Uh, Chelsea,
Be
right?
it, yeah, for like Chelsea, for like United, for like
Basically, all
something,
the so they're like City
yeah,
and all. So yeah, guys, be wary about those transfer. I mean, sorry, of those rotations and roulettes and tambola, whatever you call them, right?
yeah,
We'll be doing a video about this actually. I will be doing this in a couple of game weeks, wherein we'll try to probably figure out a strategy as to how to navigate this busy Christmas period.
yeah,
Uh,
exactly.
so in stating that, I'll just like end off with one question. I'll not ask whether Reece James and Chilwell will play or not because people who have got them, they understand the risk by now. If you don't understand the risk, guys, there's a chance that they will rotate. Why do you still keep them in the team? Because their ceiling of points is really high. That's why you
Hmm.
have them in the team. So yeah, you have to just live with it. You can't have it both ways. My one question is, will when you say that Lukaku won't be starting, and I heard, I think I'm not sure, Kai Havertz got injured during the international break, or that was a minor injury or something like that, or probably I'm like confusing with
No,
somebody else.
no. Kai Havertz
He
was
withdrew from the Germany
no,
match, or that happened.
no. Actually, Germany played two matches. In the first match, he didn't play. In second match, he played and like scored a beautiful goal also. So he
Okay.
is not at all injured.
So he is fit. So my question
Yeah,
is, a lot of people's question is this: Kai Havertz will be starting game week 12, according to
definitely.
you.
Yeah, definitely.
That definitely does not fill me with a lot of confidence. Something I guys, yeah, by the way, this is the first time I have actually done my transfer. So I have never ever done my transfer as early in international break as I've done this time around. I'll reveal my transfer status, but yeah, needless to say, already sold Kai Havertz. Anyways, do we need to speak about Burnley? I think
No,
Burnley are pretty much the same team. Cornet is probably right now the only fantasy option. Lowton, we have not spoken about the entirety of the we are doing the pod. I think Lowton has become a good option now that
good
Cornet is
option
there
actually. Yeah, actually.
because Cornet is so good in heading the balls and
Heading with
finishing
the ball.
on the crosses. So Lowton is benefiting from that. But in saying that, I don't think Burnley have a really good fixture right away. Although it does show third on the ticker, but they have Crystal Palace at home. I don't think that is a good fixture for them, especially. And then they have Tottenham. Couple of weeks back, this would have been a good fixture. Antonio Conte's Tottenham, I am not sure. Then it's Wolves, which is probably a decent fixture. Wolves away, and then it's Newcastle away. Again, it's a decent fixture. So I think the time to jump on Burnley for some, if you want to jump, you can jump on Cornet right now. But I will still like to look at it for a couple of more game weeks and then assess as to how they are planning and if they are continuing to play in that same. Another thing worrying about Maxwell Cornet is that he has not finished a single match till now. I mean,
Yeah,
he has not played
exactly.
minutes. It can't be due to injury because he cannot be injured for the entirety of this time. So that tells me that it's like a kind of a risk play from Sean Dyche, wherein he plays Conte for a certain amount of time and then he reverts back to mean, wherein what he knows best to his old formation and he
Whole
defends.
formation all.
So that tells me that it's more of a horses for the courses kind of a thing. So I would not be surprised if he is benched for certain matches, honestly. So yeah, something to look out for. Crystal Palace Wolves. Crystal Palace. I think if you want to, Crystal Palace won 2-0 against Wool. Needless to say, Gallagher was on the score sheet once again. He, like ESR, you can call it a run, like probably how Lingard was going last season, or
Yeah,
you can. say the fact that both of them, if they have a very distinguishable quality, and it's a common quality in both of them, wherein both of them arrive very late to the box, and they are in a very good goal scoring position where from where they can actually take a shot towards the goal or an assist. And this is actually facilitated by the system of the team that is playing. So for ESR, it is facilitated by Lacazette actually pulling away a lot of defenders and Aubameyang pulling away a lot of defenders, wherein there is that central space for ESR to actually go and shoot. Similar for Zaha, because Edward is actually pulling away a lot of defenders and Zaha is doing the same thing. And he's eventually arriving late in the box at the right place at the right time, and he's getting assist or scoring a goal. I would not say that this will be ending pretty soon, because if you look at Crystal Palace's fixture, I actually like this better than Burnley's, who are third on this list. Crystal Palace have Burnley away. I think that's a decent fixture for them. Then they have Aston Villa home. I think even that is a good fixture from them. Then they have Leeds away. Even that is a favorable fixture. And then Manchester United away, which is, as you say, it's a decent fixture. So, yeah, I think if you want to jump on a Crystal Palace asset, it
Probably
is the time to
it is
jump
the
right
time
now.
now.
It is the time. And if you ask me personally, I understand there's been a lot of conversation about Edward. Edwards is a very good footballer. Don't get me wrong. But we are talking FPL. If you talk FPL to me, I think it will be either Zaha or Gallagher, if you can figure out a position. Zaha has the penalty, and Gallagher, we have already stated by Gallagher. So, yeah, something to look into. Wolves, anybody from Wolves? Wolves.
Now, one more thing. I just wanted to add. I like said it in the last part also. If you want to go for a defender, I think Mitchell is a pretty nice option at 4 million. And like probably people who want to sell Sanchez or like want to move forward, I think Guetta is also a very good option. I like mentioned him in our last pod also.
Sanchez wise, I would say this. If you are a owner of Sanchez and if you have Steele, the backup keeper this game week, and if you think that you want to hold the transfer and not make a goalkeeper transfer, that's absolutely fine, because Brighton's
Mm,
fixtures are not that bad. I will just
mm.
quickly recheck what is the Brighton's fixture. It's Aston Villa away, Leeds home, West Ham away, Southampton away. Not a very bad run of fixture. You can see them keeping a clean sheet. If you want to switch from Sanchez, I think either Ramsdale or Vincent Guetta for Crystal Palace are an option. I personally would not invest more than this at the goalkeeper position. So I think either of those three are fine for the goalkeeper position. You don't need to think much. I think there have been a suggestion from a lot of pod that you can probably jump for David De Gea, who is 5 million. You
No.
can, but I probably wouldn't, because
Mm,
I don't feel like Manchester United keeping a clean sheet right now. At least not in. I don't even feel they will be able to keep a clean sheet against Watford in that sense. I think even that they can concede. So yeah, I would probably not be going towards De Gea, but I think these three are an option: Sanchez, Ramsdale, and Quetta. So anybody you pick, absolutely fine. Go for it. Wolves, anything to speak about? I think Wolves we have pretty much figured out. Wolves will be like this. Some match they are exceptional. Some match they are completely outplayed. A lot of
completely
it
outplayed,
depends,
completely poor.
yeah, a lot of it depends as to how Jimenez plays on that day, because I think he is the main source of their attack. Their fulcrum of the attack might have changed with Huang being much more forward, but I think everything to create and whatever forward play there is, it is to Jimenez. So it depends on what kind of Jimenez turns up. I think that is what defines the day. If you have Huang, which a lot of people do, and if you can manage to bench him this game week, or even if, see, he's not the worst option to even play. I mean, they are playing West Ham at home, I think. It's
Hmm.
not like they're playing Man City, so you can even play him. But if you feel like that's not an adequate fixture from him and you want to actually bench him, then I think after that they have two very good
He,
fixtures. Not
yeah,
wrong.
I think Norwich and Leeds, I guess, probably.
Yeah, they have where's Wolves? Wolves. Why can't I find Wolves? Can't find Wolves. It's weird. Anyways, yeah. Sorry, I found them. So it's West Ham at home and then Norwich away and then Burnley at home. So I think
Norwich
those
is bad.
two fixtures in particular in game week 13 and 14 are really good fixtures. Fang, as I said, he is probably more nailed than Armstrong or Broya. So I don't think I'll be selling Wang if you're owning him. Owning him might not be the worst option. So yeah, that's about it. Brighton Newcastle 1-1. So yeah, I think
Ooh, I think a very weird game. Sanchez got the red card and like dunk, dunk
I
is like
I
played
want to say
done.
that Brighton were the better team.
Hmm.
The better team, probably. Yeah, I think Trossard played well and he was creating a lot of chances. But we can slowly see that the form that Brighton had at the start of the season, so it will eventually revert back. They will obviously not be finishing in the top four or top five. Uh, but yeah, so that those performances will revert back to mean. I think what how the trend is showing, Mope probably is not a good option to even consider because sometimes he plays, sometimes he doesn't play. So if you want to punt on Brighton attack, again I would not because Brighton does not score a lot of goals. They do not look like very good going forward. They are very organized as a team. So if my punt probably would be in their defense, somebody like Cucurella or
Lamptey.
even Lamptey. I would rather take Lamptey over Mitchell to be very honest. When you are saying like there's Mitchell as an option, both of them at the same price, I think I'll take Lamptey. But then again, I will not take Lamptey because it's a busy festive period, and I can absolutely surely see him getting injured if he plays all of them. So I don't think he'll be playing all of them. So that's why I will not go for Lamptey. Uh, Barring this, if you want to punt on an attacker, I think Trossard is the best option right now. I was actually
Yeah.
considering that taking Trossard a couple of weeks back. I think he has scored in back-to-back matches. He's not a bad punt, but there's not a lot of goals in that particular team. Newcastle, new manager bounce. Eddie Howe is the
Probably.
manager of the richest club in Premier League. Eddie Howe. How do you see that turning out?
Mm, probably he is like he is probably there just to like sail them up. Probably they would get a new manager
I think
next season.
Newcastle will go down. I think his biggest job is to actually keep them up.
Yeah, exactly. I feel like would Newcastle would still concede a lot, but probably due
Yeah,
to Ite Howe factor and those Wilson combination and all the stuff, probably they would like score a lot of goals also. And one more thing, in like January, there would be like major reshuffling in that team for sure.
but
But for this period,
then again, it's a question of how many players actually want to come to Newcastle in January. With no disrespect to Newcastle, because the players or the top players that they are considering, they will also want to go to a team at least thinking about contesting in Europe at the least, not thinking about saving relegation. So yeah, it's a tough battle. I think the challenge would be to stay up this season. If they manage to stay up, yeah, they will be a force to reckon with in the next couple of years or 3 years. If they don't stay up, then it's an uphill task of actually getting promoted once again and then thinking about the Premier League or taking on the world or whatever. Regarding if we come back to fantasy and FPL, I think their defenders are not good enough to keep a clean sheet. Eddie Howe as a manager is has never been since the time that
Mm.
we have seen him in Bournemouth. I think like 3 4 years back he was there, 4 5 years back, and they got relegated. He is not a manager who focuses a lot of defense. His motto or the style of his play is to attack and build up, and mostly I think he plays in a 4-3-3 or a 4-4-2 kind of a system. So
So I
yeah,
feel so yeah, I feel like Newcastle team would be a definitely it should be a target team. As
yeah, I don't think anything changes. I think they were always a
mm,
target team, and I think that remains because
that remains actually.
defensively nothing will happen. Probably attacking wise,
Probably yeah, exactly.
a lot of people bring up the connection of Callum Wilson and Ryan Fraser. If you guys remember, I don't know how many of you know this, but Ryan Fraser and Eddie Howe did not exactly end on very good terms.
Mm,
Wherein for the last 6 months he was not playing for Bournemouth because he wanted to leave. So
mm.
there is a bit of a patch up there as well. I don't see immediately Fraser coming back into the team and all. Probably somebody who will benefit is Saint Maximin, but then again, I will not go for Saint Maximin. If you want to go for a forward, then go for Wilson, and Saint Maximin right now at least will not make sense. Moving on, Arsenal Watford. So first of all, like kudos to Mikel Arteta. I mean, this has been a commendable performance since we lost to Man City. I think in Game Week 3, the turnaround has been immense. We can slowly see that actually Arsenal are playing ball, wherein there is a definitive style and what they're going for. Hopefully, it continues. That is the big worry. The acid test is
Mm,
probably this week. I
okay.
don't expect Arsenal to
Uh,
win this.
uh,
Yeah,
no, no. I just wanted to ask you something. There was something going on Twitter. If like game week started, if like Premier League started in game week 3, then I think Arsenal would be in top right now. So
yeah,
are you like yeah, 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 exactly.
yeah. I think that kind of a stupid stat always comes up at some point of the time or not. Even like last year, if I am not wrong, if like there was this thing that the season would have started in December or game week 16 onwards, Arsenal would have been in the top three. It's irrelevant to be very honest. Doesn't matter. What matters is looking forward. I think 1-0. It was once again ESR who had scored. We have already spoken about ESR and I why I think that might be continuing. Apart from the tactical play, confidence is also something. He has been scoring for Arsenal. He has now played for England and he has debuted over there and he has scored over there as well. So
Goal and assist.
goal and assist. So he is in a sort of a phase wherein he is in confidence. So yeah, I think good things can be expected. Not much to expect this game week, guys, because we'll speak about the upcoming game week. But generally, I think still the play, if you are targeting Arsenal players, would be the defense. I think defensively we are very settled. So there will not be much rotation, and barring injury, that first choice defense will be playing throughout the festive period. So that's something to consider and keep in your mind. Watford, I don't think anybody is targeting Watford, so there's no point in talking. I don't think Star right now is an option, so they
Yeah.
don't even have good fixtures. So let's move on. Everton, Spurs. Everton, I think their fixtures, if I'm not wrong, it's not in this particular ticker. I think their fixtures turn from game week 16 and 17. Everton, honestly, apart from DCL, I will not consider anybody, and I don't think the fixtures are good right now. Fixture right now for Everton are
City. City, it's the next
Man
match.
City,
Then
Brentford, Liverpool, Arsenal. I think that's a very bad run of fixtures. The only team who has a worse run of fixture is Watford, who have Manchester United, Leicester, Chelsea, Man City. Wow. Don't even think about Watford. right now. And similarly, Everton. So if once DCL is back, probably that becomes an option. So monitor that DCL. They drew against Spurs in a nil-nil. I think we spoke extensively about Spurs last match as well. The only development for people who have followed, people have obviously followed, is that Harry Kane has scored 7 goals in the international break, I think, in 2 matches. Caveat is the matches were against Albania and San Marino, but then again, the fact is, when people say that he is a world class striker, so there is not the factor about whether he can play or not. So the only thing is about confidence. So they have this run right now. We have already spoken, and I think the community has over thesized this and theoretized this that Conte does the magic instantly. He's not a magician that can turn everything around, but yeah, he gets the result pretty quickly. So if the delivery is there, I think Harry Kane is a good option right now because they have the best run right now. So if you want to get into a fixture run, it will probably be right now. It's Leeds at home, Burnley away, Brentford at home, and Norwich at home. I don't think you can actually get a better run of fixtures, considering Brentford are also suffering defensively right now without Raya. And I'll be honest to
Yeah,
you, even if Conte had not signed up for Spurs, and if Nuno was still managing Spurs, I think at FPL you have to play fixtures. I would have still taken. I already have Harry Kane in my team, but I would have still taken Spurs asset. So I don't think there should be any doubt. People want to actually wait for a week and then decide whom to go for. The window is already of 4 game weeks. I mean that's your choice if you want to do that. But then again, there's a aspect of gambling into this. So yeah, I will probably punt straight on. You were saying something. You want to add anything on Spurs? I think
yeah,
let's
yeah.
talk
I
about.
just want to, yeah, I just want to add something. Like, yeah, okay, fine. Everybody has like those James, Chilwell, Trent, Cancelo in their team, but probably you should think about a Spurs defender also in your team. Mm, because I feel like would definitely Conte would definitely keep clean sheet.
I hope so. We'll speak about that. Yeah, I think barring that, I think people's confusion is about the fact whether the wing backs will be playing as wing backs or not. I think, guys, the thing right now is probably with the ascent of Livramento and a lot of chief midfielder, more or less every team has 14, 15 players playing for them in the team, including the goalkeeper as well. So if you want to punt on a Spurs defender, I think you can, because even if that person does not play, you have somebody from bench to cover. As Anjan, like you correctly pointed out, the one thing that probably you expect more than goals from Conte is that the team will be solid defensively. And then also we have also heard that, or we know that Conte plays in a 3-4-2 or a 3-4-3 or a 3-5-2 kind of a system. So essentially it's a wing back dominated system. So and his wing backs traditionally, be it Hakimi, be it Victor Moses, be it Alonso, be it even Perisic, all of them have been very heavily involved in the goal involvement, or rather in the goal making process, be it in a form of assist or goals or actually creating the goal. So I think that's a very good punt, to be very honest. If you are asking which is the better wing back, personally for me, from what I have seen, I think Emerson Royal is probably a better option than Regulion, because we generally have this impression that Regulion is probably the more natural to this role. But what I saw is he probably is not a very good finisher of the ball. He's not like a Ben Chilwell, whereas Emerson Royal probably has much more engagement in the box. So personally, for me, I think I'll go for Royal. Uh, but either of them I think is fine if you want to take that punt. I am not saying that you have to take that punt, but if you want to take that punt, that's a good punt, right? Anything else? I think the thing to monitor, a lot of people are monitoring what to do with if Harry Kane or Son. I think the thing to monitor would be who plays that number 10 role, or probably that Barella role that there was in Inter. So you can see probably Ndombele or probably Lo Celso or even a
Los
Deli
also to the
who can become an option. So that is something that you need to monitor. I don't think with world class players like Harry Kane and Son should be a very issue. I am personally a Harry Kane owner, and I've seen positively for me a lot of drive in the community for Harry Kane this game week. I will not say that it's very disheartening for Sun fans. Sun is still a world class player, guys. I don't think he's a bad option if you already own him. I will not break and change my team to get Harry Kane by selling Son. A lot of people are doing. I still see there are a lot of theories out there that Son is not getting along with Conte, and we don't know that. So right now, Son, well, all that we know is Son gets an extra point for goal and he gets an extra point for clean sheet. So and he's a world class finisher. So yeah, if I had Son, I would probably wouldn't have been selling Son. So, but then again, that's just me.
would you buy Son?
I'll not buy Son. Uh, okay, sorry. I will reiterate. So when you say if you would buy Son, if you are giving me an option where I can only buy Harry Kane or Son, and I can afford both, I probably lean towards Harry Kane because in any case he's a very favorite FPL player of mine. So I always tend to be pro Harry. The one thing for me is I am probably much more comfortable captaining Harry Kane than Son. Although I have already captained Son this season. I have captained him in game week 3 and he has given me a return. So
11 point.
yeah, I think it was 10 points. So I, I think captain wise, if you feel like captaincy is a thing, Harry Kane still has the penalty. So yeah, captaincy wise, it becomes an issue. I will probably lean towards Harry Kane. If I already have Harry Kane and if I have the chance to buy Son, yes, I will buy Son. If I have the chance, I would have bought Son.
Okay.
Because if you see
But
the run of fixture, why would you not attack it? If it does
yeah,
not work
exactly.
out, it's not very hard to move on, right? You can,
Yeah,
in
exactly.
the very next instance, sell because there is nobody higher than Son that is performing right now who is not Mo Salah. So
Hmm.
everything will be a downgrade. So I don't see the big issue in actually going for it,
Yeah,
right?
anyways. But
Yeah, I expect good things. So let's see. Fingers crossed. Leeds Leicester. Leeds, I think until Bamford turns up, I think Rafinha is a good option.
yeah,
People having Rafinha, I would keep Rafinha. If you don't have Rafinha, I would not be in a rush to buy Rafinha right now. Is
hmm,
that's
true,
what my assessment of Leeds is right now? Because
true.
Rafinha has only been involved in goal scoring. He has not given a single assist, which states that nobody in the team is good enough to actually finish his chances. So it needs a Bamford. Regarding Leicester, a lot of people are in the doubt whether to sell Vardy or not. I think after Chelsea match, Vardy's fixtures are actually very good. Uh, if Chelsea at home, then Watford at home, then Southampton away, and then Aston Villa away. Although Aston Villa has Gerrard, I don't think that will be a instant magic that Gerrard can also conjure up. In stating that, I would just be wary of the fact that during this festive fixture, Leicester actually right now have depth in the squad wherein they have Patson Daka and Iheanacho and Barnes, so they can rotate. I don't expect Vardy to be playing all the 10 matches in the next 40 days. So there might be a rotation in that. He will not be a. I'm not saying Vardy cannot score against Chelsea. So, but if it's a move for probably a Harry Kane, then go for it. If you already have Harry Kane and then still you want to sell Vardy, I think that can be avoided. if you can. That is, I think. Do you disagree or you want to add anything to it? I don't
No, no,
think
no,
that
no, nothing.
any other players from these both of these teams, Leeds or Leicester, are even remotely an option right now.
Yeah, yeah,
I don't
true.
see Pereira, Castagna, anybody becoming an option right now. Probably from next game week onwards, you can punt on a Leicester defender, but honestly, who has space in defense right now? I don't think anybody has space in defense. So it's just a moot point talking about defense right now. West Ham Liverpool, very surprising result. West Ham are like on the form of their life. Liverpool got a reality check, which is very actually scary for me as an Arsenal fan because they'll be totally up for it. Any concerns about Antonio?
I'm like owner of him, and I'm probably keeping him.
Owner of reluctantly. I will just presenting a different side. I see a lot of reluctance and a lot of discussion as to why you shouldn't be selling Antonio. I wanted to sell Antonio last week. I could not because I missed the deadline and stuff. And this week, honestly, Antonio has a good fixture in Bulls. So I also hear this that probably the bus is missed when you could have sold Antonio and the window is gone now. Probably you should keep him. I don't believe that. Uh, I think it's been already stated in the community and Twitter and all that if Antonio does not score against Wolves, that's one return in 6 games. You can expect then, considering the next fixtures are City, then Brighton, then Chelsea, or probably the reverse order, that his price
No, no,
might
no.
go down. It's
Yeah,
City first, right? So
City
City,
first.
Brighton, and Chelsea, yeah. So I think you can see Antonio being sold by a lot of people and his price probably going down. Even if it is not, and he does score against Wolves, I don't see why it is a point unless it's absolutely a dire case of you not being able to afford him back again. Then also, I don't feel that Antonio is essential. I know I have said that Antonio is gold when he is fit, but 10 matches in 40 days, Mikel Antonio, he is exceptionally fit right now this season. But how much of a output? Probably again, the conversation stems from the first discussion that we started. There are not a lot of dearth of strikers right now that are performing. That is why probably we are hanging on or clutching on to Antonio. But if you feel that it can improve your team, where you can bolster up your midfield and your defense, I wouldn't have a problem in doing that. To be very honest, because even after the Chelsea match, I think one match later he has Arsenal again. So it's not a very favorable run. I think West Ham's favorable run starts from game week 17 onwards. And then also at
Hmm.
that point of time, probably you would be looking at one of the midfielders, probably a Fonas or a Bowen, or probably Benrahma again becomes an option. So I don't think he's a mandatory inclusion in our teams. I mean, then again, I heard a lot of people have different opinion. I just wanted to state a different side of it. I'm not advocating that you should absolutely sell Antonio. Somebody asks me opinion, I will probably say keep Antonio. But then again, I probably might. I don't see a problem in selling Antonio, to be very honest. Barring the price is an issue. I don't think price should be an issue at this point of the season for at least most of us. Liverpool, anything to speak? I think the only interesting thing to speak about is Firmino is injured and Jota probably would be nailed.
Yeah, Firmino is injured, I think December till December mid, and probably by December end, Salah Mane would leave for AFCON. So
Okay,
probably
so
Jota would be a probably Jota would be a nail option for the next, I think, 2 3 months.
okay, so suddenly, unless and until Jota also gets injured, he seems like a very good option, barring probably the time in between Firmino gets fit. I still see Jota playing for.
Hmm.
Good for me as a Jota owner. I have been holding him for a very long time. I see a lot of people trying to buy Jota as well. Um,
Exactly.
he
Lucky you, exactly.
he's a decent option right now. I don't know.
Very,
Stars,
very good option
stars
actually.
are, stars are aligning for me. Yeah, it's an opportunity. Definitely, you're getting a Liverpool attacker for 7.5 million, who plays forward. So I don't see any downside in that. Even if it does not work out, I think it's a good punt to take. So if you are probably not being able to maximize or reach your budget till Hyunmin Son, I don't think Jota is a bad option or a bad alternative at all. So yeah, go for it. Even I think Robertson is injured, so Simicas is an option. I don't know how, for how long, but for this
Yeah.
game week he's an option. So anybody who is probably looking to wildcard, who wants to take a 1 week punt, although it's probably not a very good week to take a punt considering it's against Arsenal, but yeah, I think can be an option, right? Let's move on to the game week preview. Just quickly look at it. Leicester Chelsea, I think fully expect Chelsea to win this scoreline.
Mm, 2-1 probably to us.
Yeah, I agree to that. I hope Chelsea concedes. I don't know why, but I hope Chelsea concedes. Yeah, I don't see any problem Chelsea winning this, especially since they'll drew the last match. Villa
Yeah.
Brighton. This is a very interesting match to me. I want to hear what's your opinion. What will be the scoreline?
Mm, I feel like it would be 1-1 draw.
Yeah, 1-1 draw. Yeah, even I think this will be a sort of kind of proof to me kind of a match. So it'll be a proof to me for a lot of Villa players to Steven Gerrard, who will be looking at the entire squad to select a starting 11. I do see Villa giving a performance. I don't think it's due to just the new manager bounce, but it's also a question about who wants to be in the team in the sense because they also do have a very large squad. So I do see Villa scoring, and I see probably why. I also think it will be a draw. We are agreeing to results. Burnley, Crystal Palace.
I feel like it would be a worldly one Crystal Palace 2 probably.
Okay.
I
I,
feel like
I
Crystal
yeah.
I feel like Crystal Palace would definitely score, and I see Burnley nicking a goal.
Okay. I see Crystal Palace actually keeping a clean sheet, so I'll go with the 2-0 for Crystal Palace. Newcastle, Brentford.
Newcastle Brentford. I hope. Generally, I hope it would be a. I feel like Newcastle winning this match 2-1.
No. I will like to disagree. I think Brentford finally wins this match, and I think Tony or Bumo or probably both of them do get involved. I would go for a 2-1 for Brentford, or probably even a 3-1. I'll stick with 2-1. 2-1 for Brentford. I see them winning this match because they have continuously been losing a lot. Norwich, Southampton.
Ah, I feel Norwich Southampton. It should be a draw. 1-1. 1-1 draw. I feel.
I just hope it's anything apart from a clean sheet for Southampton. I'm sick of Livramento's clean sheet. So I will. I think Southampton will win this. So it'll be a 2-0 or a 2-1 kind of a match, according to me. Watford United. We expect this to be high scoring. Will it be high scoring?
2-3 to United actually.
United will lose the match.
Huh?
2-3 as in United will lose the match. Oh,
No. Yeah. No.
winning 3 goals to 2. Okay.
Yeah.
Um, I would go with a 3-1 in favor of United. I do see them conceding, but I think United will win this comfortably. Wolves West Ham.
No, that's a very tricky match actually to predict. I feel like West Ham would concede, but West Ham would probably win this match, probably 2-1.
I agree to that. I think it will be like a 2-1 kind of a match. I hope West Ham concedes. um, Liverpool Arsenal.
You should predict this first.
I just hope that we give them a game. I don't think we'll be winning this match. I'll go with 2-0 in favor of Liverpool.
2-0.
Yeah.
I would say probably it would be 2-1. Arsenal would nick a goal because I don't feel like Liverpool defense are very solid right now.
But I don't think Arsenal attack is also very solid right now. So because we have been grabbing goals from like single shots from ESR. So yeah, Oba needs to refine his. Traditionally, Liverpool Arsenal is a very high scoring match, but I don't see that happening this time around. City Everton. This was 5-0 last time. This was Sergio Aguero's last match last year.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I remember exactly.
I got
And I would feel like City winning it probably 2-0.
2-0. Yeah, I think kind of makes sense because had there not been a midweek match, I would have probably guessed for a higher score line. But I think, yeah, 2-0, 3-0 seems fair. I think absolutely certain City keeps a clean sheet. This is the most assured fixture I think that will be a clean sheet. I don't know why, but it's just a general feeling. I think City will keep a clean sheet. So, yeah, 3-0 for
So,
me. I'll just go 3-0 for City.
so like you are very much assured of a clean sheet of City. So, will you be captaining someone like City defender, probably Cancelo?
I would have had I not been burned so bad by Mo Salah. That particular match and that particular game killed a lot of things. I think had that haul not been 24 points, I think it would not have mattered. It's just the fact that the game week that I didn't captain, it was 24 points, hat trick and an assist. That's very hard to take. And that time also, it was supposedly against a big team like United. So I don't want to take that risk probably. Spurs lead. Lots of eyeballs on this match. Ideally, I would have
I
captained this from this match. If this Salah thing would not have been there, I think my captain would have been from this match. But anyways, yeah,
I think Spurs winning it. I think probably by 2-0. I don't see late scoring in this match.
I think yeah, I don't see Spurs being out of the block very much. Plus, I think this will be a much more managed game in comparison to the next three games that Spurs have in this particular run. Yeah, I'll agree to that. I'll also go with a 2-0. So let's like quickly look at your team, Anjan. Before we move on to team, are you captaining anybody else? When I say anybody
Mm,
else, I'm presuming you're captaining Mo Salah. Are you going anywhere apart from Mo Salah?
no, no,
It's funny, right? We are suspecting like it will not be a very high scoring match and Liverpool will not be scoring. So this is the thing that 24 point has done. It's bad for FPL.
no,
I feel.
no. I feel like Liverpool would win by 2-1. So, like, if Liverpool
Do you
scored two
expect
goals,
Salah to be involved in both the goals?
probably yes.
I'll just give you a bit of insight. If somebody is looking to take a punt, Mane has a better record against Arsenal than
Yeah, exactly.
so. If you want to take a punt, I think Mane is a good punt for this game week. And he looks fit. He doesn't look injured as why he came back from his international duties. He's practicing jolly well right now. And then let's move on to your team. Um, how many free transfers do you have? Have you used them?
No, I have actually two free transfer, and
Okay.
probably I'm I'm right now clueless how to like use my transfer. My team is Ramsdale in goal. My backline, my five defenders I have, which I am playing right now, probably Chilwell, James, Trent, Cancelo, and Livramento. And my midfielder. Bumo, Salah, Foden. My forward are Kane, Antonio, which I'm playing. And my benches would be Saka, Wang, and I think Brownell.
You've got a very strong bench. I would say that your money is like very evenly
Spread out
distributed.
actually.
It's very
Yeah,
evenly distributed.
no, no, actually, that's an
What other?
no, actually that's a very that's a particular issue for me. I don't have that fund to move from Saka to someone like Jota or someone in that particular range.
So what's your like thought process? What are you thinking?
Mm, I probably if
You
I
have to use
go
one,
to
right?
the not, hmm?
You have to use one. You're in such a situation that
Yeah,
you cannot just roll
mm,
one.
yeah. It might sound strange, but probably I would uh, probably I would sell Livramento, who is playing Norwich. I would probably take Emerson Royal for this particular 3 4 weeks run of matches. Because I feel like Southampton. Okay, I know. I just bought him for 4.2. He's a very
Uh,
decent bed option. He is a very decent bench option.
how
But
much in the
again,
bank, Anjan?
point 0.6 actually. Exact fun.
See, to me that's not a weird transfer. I mean, I understand to the world it would be a weird transfer. I don't see it as a weird transfer. The only thing that I see it as is probably more benching headache for you in the future.
Yeah, yeah,
So
exactly.
if you think about it from next game week onward, probably Livramento is somebody who is dispensable to your bench.
Hmm.
Don't say that about Emerson Royal.
Masada, exactly.
If you are taking Royal, then you are committing to a back five essentially.
Yeah, true. But I have because I have something in my mind which I will do probably bearing any injuries and all those stuff. Probably I would sell Antonio and probably I would go for a cheap forward. Probably like bench forward, something like that. And I would I would like generate my fund for Jota move next week.
Okay, cool. So you will be like gradually moving towards a 5-4-1.
Probably.
Cool. Okay, let's move on to my team. I also had two transfers, guys. I have already done three transfers. So I've essentially taken a hit. I think I did my transfer after the second day in the international break. I've never done this early, but I felt that I should be moving because I also had exact funds. So the transfer that I did was I took out Kai Havertz. I got Conor Gallagher in place of him. That generated fund for me, which was a problem in my team that I was missing Trent for the past 3 4 game weeks. I could not go without him anymore. So I took out Duffy for Trent, and I had Rudiger. So Rudiger I downgraded to Emerson Royal. So my playing 11 is Ramsdale, Trent, Emerson Royal, Chilwell, Cancelo, Foden, Gallagher, Salah, Jota, Antonio, Kane. And first sub is Ben White. Gerhardt is a bench fodder, essentially does not play, and Allen in the bench. My doubt was whether to play Ramsdale or Steele this week because Steele, by the virtue of Sanchez's red card, will be playing this week. But I think probably I'll be sticking with Ramsdale as of now.
True. Good option actually. And like, what are your thoughts about selling Antonio? Like, whom would you go for?
I'm selling him next week.
And going for whom exactly?
I would probably be selling Antonio for Huang next week, and then I need that. Basically, I'll need that fund. I'll This is the all plan. Everything can be in mud in FPL. 1 week is a long time. My plan is, see, I already have my wild card. I've already stated that. So I want to move to a five-man midfield. So my idea is to downgrade Antonio to probably a Wang, and the game week after that, I want to upgrade Allen to Rafinha. I think Rafinha's fixture is let's see. So yeah, Leeds will have Crystal Palace at home, Brentford at home. So like decentish fixture. I'm not saying amazing fixtures, but decentish fixture. So that will give me a midfield of Foden, Gallagher, Salah, Jota, and Rafinha. I think that's pretty decent, along
Decent.
with Kane. So yeah, and I have wildcard, so I'll probably, if I want to buy back Antonio, I can buy back. So, so yeah,
Okay.
that's about it, guys. I think it's a good comeback. It's kind of like homecoming. I think we were disoriented of sorts, and we are getting connected back to FPL. Good thing is there's no more international break till I think March. So it's
March.
non-stop footballing action, barring the winter break in between. So yeah, it's the most critical period of Fantasy Premier League. If you're new to it, this is where all the jumps and the rank rises happen. So I'm very excited about it. Let all the strategies and all the games begin. Thank you so much for listening, whoever listened to us up till now. Please drop a comment below, give us a feedback of anything that you feel we should improve. We absolutely request for feedback. We don't get feedback, guys. So I think we would love some feedback. If you are liking our work, please hit the like button and please subscribe. Anything else to add, Anjan?
Nothing. Hope your arrows are green. That's all.
Yeah, have a good game week, guys, and yeah, welcome back to FPL.
Welcome
Thanks,
back
guys.
to FPL.
Good night.